Hey everybody, it's Big E again, and I'm bringing you this Akribos watch. This is a Chinese watch, and I'm bringing this watch today because I want to see how far the Chinese has come, and are they getting close to the Japanese and Swiss watchmakers as far as their dress watches. Now, this dress watch is extremely affordable, and it is a skeletonized watch. So it comes in a regular little cardboard box. This watch was approximately $70, and I got it from Joma's shop. And it's called an Akribos. And all the Akribos lines have this XXIV IV down at the bottom. So let's get rid of this. And let's take the watch out. It just comes in a cardboard box. Nothing special, nothing to write home about. And it has a hang tag. And the hang tag has a price of $795, which we all know that's just some sort of inside joke. But the watch, nevertheless, was $70. Now, let's get to the watch, and I'll take it off, unbuckle it. Let's look at the features and just look at it as if it wasn't an expensive watch. Now, the watch isn't really that heavy, and I suspect that is because the case is cut away because it's a skeletonized watch. So the watch isn't carrying very much weight, but it does still have a pretty nice quality feel. Now let's start from the top. It has a minute track right along the rehalt. Let's look at the minute track right along that rehalt. And see if I can get up close on that. It says Akribos at 12 o'clock, and then you have like a railroad style track going around the outside. Then you have another railroad style track right here on the seconds. So it has one sub dial, which is skeletonized sub dial, and that shows the seconds right here at 6 o'clock. Now that one's pretty hard to see. Let me get a right angle. There you go. You can see the sub dial going. Now you have just some regular sword style hands with Loom, and you also have Loom at every 5 minutes. Now on the bezel, you have a stamped bezel with 60 seconds etched into the bezel, and that's standard. Now you have a signed crown. You have a crown that has a mushroom type cap on the end, so it's easy to grip. And this watch isn't hacking or hand winding. That's one thing about this watch. It's not hacking or hand winding. But it's a great size for a dress watch. Wristwatch check 007 J1. Let's compare it in the size of this. This is a 42. This is a 40. Both of these watches are not hacking and not hand winding, and they're both automatics. This doesn't carry any dates. Only complications that it carry is a small second hand, and that's pretty okay for paying $70. Okay. Now, getting to the side of the case is polished. It has turn down lugs, which is a really short lug to lug, and I'll get to measuring that in a second. But what I want to check first is these crystals are sapphire. It says the crystals are sapphire coated, whatever that means. Okay, the light does jump a little bit, showing that it does have a little bit of sapphire coating. Okay, so you should get some wear and tear out of this crystal, because it does seem to have a thin layer of sapphire coating on the glass, but it is just a mineral coated mineral glass. So I don't think it's carrying any anti-reflective properties. I don't see any. And the movement has that wonderful looking carvings in there. So they removed as much metal as they could, and then they scribed in there as heavily as they could. Now, obviously a machine did this, but it actually looks pretty good. It even has faux blued screws. I don't think those screws are are thermally blued. If they were, I'd be totally flabbergasted. And the watch is carrying a standard Chinese shock protection system. If you can see up there, it's plastic. See that in there? It's a plastic system to hold the movement. So it'll probably take bumps and shocks pretty good. Now, if you look at the balance wheel, it'll have a standard shock system on there and a standard what do you call that? Tuning fork right there to slow it up, to slow down the movement or speed it up right here. So it can probably easily be adjusted, it looks like. Now, I haven't timed this, and I can put it up against the Seiko. In the last couple hours, they seem to be running about neck and neck. But this movement isn't nothing to write home about. But I look at it like you're not going to wear this watch as an everyday watch. You're going to wear it to go out. So as long as it keeps time 10, 15 seconds a day, 30 seconds a day, you should be good. Especially at spending only 70 bucks. Now it comes with a leather strap, which is genuine leather. It has a true leather strap. And you have a faux crocodile pattern with brown stitching, you know, which is pretty nice. And then you have a blue accents everywhere. So the watch, even though it's skeletonized on the outer edge and the railroad track in here, it's all blue on this model, and you can get several different colors. You have the Roman applied indices. You also have a Loom pip on each side, at the end of each indice, and you also have loomed hands. Now, you get a sign buckle on a pin buckle type clasp. So you get a sign buckle, and that's pretty cool. And all in all, the watch for $70 isn't that bad. Now let's take some measurements. I believe the watch is a 40 mil. It's about I want to say 41. Yeah, about 41 millimeter. The thickness is 10.5, so it'll slip under any dress cuff. And the lug to lug, let's see what the lug to lug is 48.5 lug to lug. So this is a watch that will be easily fit on just about any wrist, male or female. Easily, because it has a really short lug to lug. It has turn down lugs, 10.5 inches thick, so it's extremely thin automatic movement, and it's a 41 mil case. So it's still going to have some wrist presence even if you're a bigger guy. But all in all, on a scale of 1 to 10, as far as quality goes and the way this looks, I want to give it a 5 or 6. It's not as cheesy as I thought, and the movement actually is pretty well decorated for a Chinese movement. You know, you have your gold reversing gears, and you have your decorated skeletonized rotor, thermally blued faux screws, and even the back of the movement you can see is decorated. So, and the front of the movement's actually decorated too. You have some scribing in there on the bridges and plates. So it's pretty cool. Now let's get down to the Loom, see what that looks like. We'll charge it up. charge it up a little bit. Now kill the studio lights. See what kind of loom you're going to get. And you actually get some loom. And let's compare that to the Seiko. Oh, it's pretty good. I wonder what happened to the loom at the 1 o'clock position. I'll have to look at that. What is that? Or is that 12 o'clock? Okay, that's 12 o'clock. There's no loom at 12 o'clock. Okay, I get it. So, it's pretty good. All in all, just Akribos is okay, and the Chinese are making a product, which is if you only have $100 and you need a dress watch, I guess you can go out and get this. I don't know how long it would last. I don't know the durability or you know how long it's going to keep time good. But for right now, it's keeping time spot on with my 007. So I guess it's pretty all right. And sorry for not having any specs on this movement. I couldn't find any. I just found it was a Chinese movement, and I don't know who makes this movement. I really don't know. It just says made in China. And I did try to do some research on there. But you know, the Chinese probably was made somewhere in a sweatshop or something. I don't know. So anyway, that's my review on the Akribos. I don't think nobody else is reviewing this kind of stuff. But all in all, it's a pretty good watch. I'll put the model number up and everything in case you want one. It's going to set you back less than $100, about $70 on Amazon and Jomo Shop. So that's my review. It's nothing to write home about, but if you want to watch a dress watch that's cheap, or maybe to get somebody into horology, to get them to understand how automatic movement works, I think this is an excellent venture for that type of thing, you know, teenager or something. So my name is Big E. I'll talk to you guys later, and God bless. I guess the Chinese are trying to catch up, maybe about another 150 years. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.